Live reaction. Alex Karaban is back for the UConn Huskies. The winningest player in college basketball in a very long time is back for one more run. Draftapalooza alum, by the way. We're going to have to try and get him back for this year's show as well. Maybe he can be a true vet for us. He's not even going to go through the NBA draft process card. That's notable because, man, normally guys of Caravan's caliber and experience level that have done it before, maybe you go through it again. He's just fully locked in on a return to UConn on one more chance at adding to his storied legacy. What's your reaction to Alex Karaban's decision?
I'm honestly baffled, and maybe I just wasn't kind of in the know on this one, and I'm that would align with everything I am as a person. But um, I at least thought he would go through the draft process, and I really thought he was actually going to stay in. I was very much projecting what UConn would be without Alex Karaban. With him back, can we welcome some? Oh my God, hold on a second. I dead ass have a bug that literally just went down my shirt. I'm so sorry. This is actually not a bit. What the hell was that?
You know what it was, right?
Nah, what was that for real?
That was Dan Hurley.
Oh my, okay, that is
That
wild.
was
Also,
Cart. That's Dan Hurley is going to be a bug on the spine of all of us this season because
I'll get back in here in a second. I just need to actually figure out where this bug went. This is dead ass not a bit. That was, I don't
all right,
know.
well, I'm going to carry the Caravan Returns video while you run around terrified of a tiny spider. Look, I'm going to actually try and make that a metaphor and work off of that. Dan Hurley is going to pester everybody. He's going to crawl down our spine, and we need to be prepared for this. You're not supposed to get Caravan back. Let's just call it what it is. You were fortunate to get him back last year, and I'll be blunt about this. Last year wasn't good. Last year was good for a lot of programs, not by UConn standards. I sat on the red couch with Renee Montgomery. I know what that program judges themselves by. It's championships. Last year's UConn team won none. And you asked Karaban to turn down, he would have been drafted last year. You asked him to turn down being a professional, put that on hold for a year that, quite frankly, was underwhelming. When you do that in sequence, coach to player, you get the extra year, and it doesn't go well. You're not supposed to get another extra year of that guy. And Dan Hurley just pulled off one of his greatest magic tricks yet. And I shouldn't even call it a magic trick, Cart. I'm making metaphors about spiders and magic. David Blaine here. Here's the truth. Dan Hurley and Alex Karaban have such a special relationship with each other that maybe we should have known this was coming back all along. Because anytime we've heard Karaban speak, he's talked about how much he loves his coach and how much UConn and his legacy is what matters to him. He is a one-of-one college teammate, a one-of-one college player, and this is a one-of-one relationship between Hurley and Karaban. I think forever going forward at this point, when you think of UConn's two titles, you should think of not just Dan Hurley and all the talent that came through, Kling and Sinogo, Stephon Castle, Tristan Newton, all those guys. You should think of it as the Hurley and Karaban pairing. This was their era. These two have been so committed to each other, and it's been special to watch from an outsider's perspective. Are you okay? We interrupt this sleepers video to tell you about an offer from Underdog Fantasy. Cart, you love Underdog Fantasy, correct?
Of course I do. Can I have a moment real quick?
Please. Thank you for that. In fact, I'm going to cut you off because our listeners like when we keep these short and sweet. Underdog Fantasy. Sign up as a new user. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get bonus funds up to $1,000, 50% of your deposit match. The NBA playoffs are rocking right now. I played Underdog last week with a Cade Cunningham line. I'm looking forward to doing it throughout the entire first round of the NBA playoffs, but there's more. You can place picks on golf. You can place picks on baseball. You can place picks on the NHL playoffs that are rocking right now. Join Underdog Fantasy, promo code SLEEPERS. Support this show so that we can keep bringing videos to you. Back to the video.
Yeah, so it was a spider. I can't confirm. That was actually terrifying because I'm afraid of spiders like all hell. I don't know, like if anyone even saw that like drop down, but it literally dropped down and went down like the back of my sweatshirt. That was absolutely terrifying.
Thoughts and
Uh, as
prayers.
as terrifying as UConn's going to be this season. Welcome to the discussion. Welcome to the discussion of the preseason number one team, UConn Huskies.
So my favorite bit of yours. You have how many teams right now currently as the number one
Um,
team?
I think I've mentioned four, possibly five.
You've got Texas Tech,
Hmm.
you've got Purdue,
Hmm.
you've got UConn,
Yep.
you've got Houston.
Yep.
I believe you've got Kentucky.
Not Kentucky. I have Duke.
You had Kentucky. You
No.
mentioned Kentucky last week.
Did I?
You did, and you have Duke. So you have six teams as the number one
So,
team in
so
the
no
country.
Kentucky.
Oh, so we're down to five.
No, back to six at Creighton.
So we have six number one teams in the country. UConn is one of them.
Yes.
Okay, feels right.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the table.
I've said it before. I think the story of this season for UConn very much is going to be the same story for Purdue. It's Dan Hurley and Matt Painter correcting what they did wrong last summer. And Hurley's done a phenomenal job. The backcourt upgrades that he's made. Eric Ribey is a front court ad. He's retained really key pieces, and this is the cherry on top. So I'm with you. I think they're in the mix. I would have no issue if someone ranks UConn as the preseason number one team in the country. I wouldn't be upset whatsoever. And Cart, there's a world here. We may be destined for a national championship rematch.
Ooh. And we're gonna be there.
We will be there in the state of Indiana. For Purdue's sake, I hope that's not what happens to them.
Listen, there's a world, and truthfully, I would be terrified if they had to see Dan Hurley in this team with a national championship on the line.
For sure. Card, did you enjoy your one off year?
What do you mean?
Why did we get the most out of this? Like it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, like we're both parents. Sometimes it can feel like we're just drowning in parental activities, making sure our kids are good, wake window, sleep, rock you, feed, wake window. Like last year, UConn last year making a round of 32. That was like the 145 minutes a day where we look up, we're like, oh my God, we're free. We're not free again. He just woke up. That's Dan Hurley in UConn. And did you enjoy your 1 year off of UConn dominating the sport?
Yeah, especially because it came with my program being good. But yeah, Big Bad Wolf is spinning the block. Jordan's coming back with the 4 or 5. Here he comes.
And we have to deal with it again.
Yep, we do.
Congrats to Alex Karaban. Open invite. Hopefully, we can get you back on the NBA draft show. You are a college basketball legend for this decision.